Let me share with you my final thoughts from the interview with AJ Scale. For the listeners who just listened to the final thoughts, AJ is a black belt from Wagney Fabiano. He owns and operates Complete Martial Arts and Fitness, located in Regina, Saskatchewan, and he is the tournament promoter for the Saskatchewan BJJ Federation in Canada. Hopefully you're able to grab at least one good idea from the interview. He talked about the importance of entrepreneurs having mentors, people who might have lived already what you're going through right now, and it can be a big influence in your success. And he also shared with you the concept that he learned from the book, The Power of Focus, from Jack Canfield and two more authors, Mark Victor Hansen and Les Hewitt. The concept is think big, act small. Since I haven't read the book, I decided to research more about it, and I read and watched some video summaries about the book so I could learn and expand the idea a little bit more for you. I Googled think big, act small just for curiosity, and interesting different perceptions and quotes popped up. There's actually a book called Think Big, Act Small, How America's Most Profitable Companies Keep the Startup Spirit Alive by Jason Jennings. And I also found Think Big, Act Bigger, The Rewards of Being Relentless by Jeffrey Hazlitt. People have different perceptions, sometimes very similar content, however, worded differently, and it's up to you to decide whatever concept applies to you. The message of the book, The Power of Focus, is trying to convey on the Think Big, Act Small chapter is small actions add up to larger results. Matter of fact, the book The Slight Edge by Jeff Olson calls this concept the compound effect. The consistency of small daily actions will lead to the success you desire. AJ mentioned that he has been listening to the podcast and he shared with you how Vitor Shaolin, Flavio Almeida, Victor Doria, and others have mentioned how consistency is the key to success. And consistency is a mental game. I mentioned during the interview that I follow the podcast and website actualize.org with the Leo Gura. And this week I listened to a cool phrase he said. The key to success is to discipline your mind. You need to discipline your mind to be consistent with your habits and consequently will impact your goals. The book, The Power of Focus, talks about habits and it mentioned that your practices create your habits and good practices create good habits. If every morning you wake up and you have the habit of eating one donut in the morning, you, my friend, are being very consistent. Unfortunately, this habit is going to break you. Looking at one bad habit a day at a time may not appear damaging. However, the compound effect, the long-term effects of bad habits will. So your job is to break the habits that are breaking you. Now, let me ask you this. If you are really committed to change some habits that you know that are not helping you, I have a few questions. One is, what would you stop doing right now? And what would you start doing? They gave 3 suggestions on the book. The number one is identify the bad habit, which is what do you need to stop doing? Number 2, define the new habit, which means what do you need to start doing? And the third one, take action. What step exactly can you start taking today so you can start the process of changing this habit? They mentioned that 90% of our normal behaviors are habits, and persistence makes the new habit automatic. Think big, act small. Think big about the changes that you want to make and take daily small steps. Remember, consistency is everything when you're changing habit. Matter of fact, my favorite book, Psycho-Cybernetics by Maxwell Maltz, states that it takes 3 weeks of consistent work to adopt a new behavior. So why not give it a try? I would like to close with a quote from the book, The Power of Focus, that says, any bad habit you don't change won't help you. Make a habit of changing your habits.
We're glad you were able to join us for this episode of the BJJ Mental Coach Podcast, but the lesson doesn't end here. Watch the videos and download the audio of the 10 mental mistakes BJJ competitors make and how to avoid them for free when you subscribe to the BJJMentalCoach.com. Don't miss the chance to find out what might be holding you back from being your best self on and off the mat. That's the BJJMentalCoach.com.